Good morning, I'm Sunetra Choudhury, political editor of the Hindustan Times, bringing you all that you need to know about COVID-19 on Monday, the 6th of July. First up, a look at the numbers. In just the last 24 hours, we've seen 24,422 new cases, and the number of total deaths now stands at 19,700, which brings us to our top story. With 4 consecutive days of record highs of new cases, we are now at the number 3 worst hit country across the world, just after America and Brazil. And with 697,000 cases, India has now overtaken Russia as the 3rd worst hit country. The case fatality rate, however, is the silver lining, where we are much lower than the global rate of 4.7%. Comparatively, we are lower at 2.8%. Also, on the bright side, our recovery rate is much better than the global rate. We are at 60%, whereas the global recovery rate is at 56.6%. But the overall numbers and the new cases consistently are a cause of concern. Our next story is about the testing and how India has now progressed rapidly from where it began in our testing capacity. We have now crossed the threshold of 10 million tests done. In fact, our average daily now stands at 200,000 samples, but we are looking to increase it to 350,000 tests daily, which is our total capacity. Now, this is a huge improvement of how things were in February, where we could only do 10,000 tests daily across the country. And from just 13 labs which were able to test for COVID-19, now there are 1,100 labs across the country which are able to test for the coronavirus. Now, speaking of science and protocols, India may be looking to change its HCQ or hydroxychloroquine anti-malaria drug protocol. We have been using it not just as a method of treatment, but also been giving it to frontline workers so that the chances of them contracting the coronavirus is reduced. Well, after WHO has halted trials and they've just said that it does not reduce mortality, India is now re-looking at its use of HCQ. There's been lots of back and forth on it, and so we await the final word on the use of HCQ. In Assam, Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has said that there may be community transmission that is happening in the district of Kamrup Metro, which includes Guwahati, after the daily spike of 777 cases, which is the highest that they've seen so far. He says that the last 2,000 cases that have been seen in the last 10 days were from community transmission. Now this is a rare admission by a government minister. In Delhi, we saw Health Minister Satyendra Jain and Minister Manish Sisodia say that they didn't know where 50% of the cases were coming from, but said it's up to the center to declare it as community transmission. But we've seen here Health Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma go ahead and call it community transmission in Assam. So lockdown in the Kamrup district, which is there till 12th of July, may be extended further. And finally, we have the story of COVID warrior YOGESH. He's a 28-year-old nursing officer at the RML hospital in the capital who contracted the coronavirus in April but has since recovered. And not just that, he has donated plasma thrice. He talks about how he contracted in April and was isolated in Safdarjung, although he remained asymptomatic. And since his recovery, he has been giving plasma every 15 days. He says at some cases he called up the ones who he had donated to, the recipients, and found out if they'd recovered or not. 2 of them had recovered out of the 3 that he had donated to, and the 3rd one he is unaware of. He said that he also got to know that because one of them sent him a thank you note and sweets. Well, those are the news updates for now. Keep tracking them on HindustanTimes.com.